Well, it's been a huge issue in Cleveland for decades, really. What should we do with our valuable lakefront property?
Yeah, many mayors have attempted to get the ball rolling on this plan to upgrade it. Tonight, Mayor Justin Bibb will introduce new legislation that would allow the city to redirect millions of dollars of property taxes to pay for roads, bridges, and other infrastructure near the river and lakefronts.
The Tax Increment Financing Program, also known as TIF, would divert a portion of future tax increases to pay for public infrastructure. Signal Cleveland's managing editor Mark Naymik joins us now on set. Okay, when people talk financing and TIFs, their eyes kind of glaze over, right? But if you can explain what is a TIF and why is this plan in particular so different?
All right, so a TIF is just like if you build a new house, the property's worth more because there's a house on it, and all that new tax money goes to your cities. Now, under this plan, most of that money would not be going straight into the coffers. They would take that money and redirect it into the area around that development for utilities and bridges and roads. And so projects like what we've been hearing about on the waterfront or riverfront behind Tower City, Dan Gilbert's Rock Ventures, they want to build lots. They want millions of square foot of new projects, but they need roads, bridges, utilities put in. So this would divert it. What is different about this project or this legislation is how big it is. It's almost putting a map right over all of downtown. So everything in there, we could scrape some of that money off and use it for these projects on the waterfront, on the lakefront, and that's unique. We have done TIFs before, but they were always tied to very specific projects. This is bigger. The mayor, I will say, he is already arguing, he thinks this gets lost, that this money too could be tapped to also extend into those neighborhoods, which always seem to be, left out in that debate a little bit. But right now, it's going to be introduced. It doesn't get introduced unless council is mildly interested.
And they are?
They are, and they would go ahead and they can debate it, they can pass it in a hurry, but this is the first step towards it, and it's really about the waterfront and the riverfront.
This is a major facelift, not just a cleaning up. This is big stuff. Well, what project and development is the legislation supposed to spark?
All right, so you have the waterfront. So we've been talking about this new master plan down there. Lots of things could happen on the old docks, around the stadiums. Money could not be used for the stadium. The mayor has said that. That's a whole separate discussion and an issue. But think of the riverfront behind Tower City, again, where Rock Develop wants to put new housing, new development, but they're envisioning parkscapes and water access. We've all heard this. I've been here 30 years talking about this. This is the mayor's big gamble to make this happen, but there's a lot to this legislation.
Well, and anytime you talk about tax breaks for private developers, there's always pushback. What are you hearing here?
Well, and that's it. So there's a philosophical argument, should private developers get access to tax dollars? Right. That's always one, and that's always been there. The argument here is, okay, first of all, in a TIF, the schools still get their money. They're kind of like the exception, right? You don't want to take money straight out of any of the public schools for the developers. And because this one is different, they say, well, we'll have money to spread around a little bit more. But here's the big but. That money, which is the tax dollars that would be generated on these properties that normally get divided up between the city and the county, the metro parks and others, they're not going to get that money. So right now they're kind of standing down saying, well, we believe in the bigger picture that maybe overall these developments will generate so much more money that this works for everybody in the end. But that is one of the arguments too. There are groups like Health and Human Services levies, or support, I'm sorry, the county tax dollars that go for a little bit goes towards Metro. You go through Family and Children's Services. That means there's less in that pot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, the other final point on it is, well, they're saying there would be no money at all if we didn't do this because they wouldn't be able to build and do these developments.
Yeah, it takes money to make money. All this will be done by next February, which is surprising. I joke.
Yes, just like the airport master plan will be done soon, right? It's all there.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.